It was a chilly night, and the deserted parking lot echoed with an eerie silence. I had just finished my late-night shift and made my way to my car, a small sense of relief washing over me as I approached its familiar silhouette. Little did I know, that relief would soon transform into sheer terror. As I approached my car, a flicker of unease crept into my mind. The dimly lit surroundings seemed to heighten my senses, and a strange feeling of being watched settled upon me. My heart quickened its pace, and a cold shiver ran down my spine. Ignoring my instincts, I reached my car and noticed something out of place on the windshield, an ominous note. The note was handwritten, the letters stark against the paper's surface. It read, "I've been watching you." The words sent a chill down my spine, and a sense of dread washed over me. The parking lot, once familiar and mundane, now seemed shrouded in darkness and uncertainty. I scanned the area, my eyes darting from shadow to shadow, searching for any sign of the mysterious watcher. But the silence was deafening, and the empty expanse only amplified my growing unease. My mind raced, trying to unravel the sinister implications of the note. How long had I been under surveillance? What had I done to attract this unsettling attention? The weight of paranoia settled upon my shoulders, pressing down with every heartbeat. I felt exposed, vulnerable, as if every move I made was being scrutinized by unseen eyes. With trembling hands, I fumbled for my car keys, eager to escape this haunting presence. But as I approached my vehicle, a sinking feeling enveloped me. There, nestled beneath the windshield wiper, was another note. This time, the message was even more chilling. "I know where you live." Fear gnawed at my insides as I hurriedly unlocked the car door and threw myself inside. I glanced around, half expecting to see a figure lurking in the darkness, but the parking lot remained eerily still. I locked the doors and gripped the steering wheel, my heart pounding in my chest. I struggled to make sense of the situation, my mind conjuring images of faceless stalkers and unseen terrors. The mundane surroundings now seemed menacing, each flickering streetlight casting eerie shadows that danced around me. My breath caught in my throat as paranoia gripped me tightly, squeezing out rational thought. The drive home was a blur of racing thoughts and pounding pulse. Every turn, every passing car, felt like a potential threat. Had I truly caught the attention of someone dangerous? My mind conjured scenarios of dark figures lurking in the corners of my vision, following me with silent determination. Fear gripped me, but curiosity got the better of my senses. I looked around the empty parking lot, searching for any signs of a lurking presence. The flickering streetlights cast long shadows that danced ominously, playing tricks on my mind. I felt a growing paranoia, as if every corner concealed a hidden observer. I quickly got into my car, locked the doors, and started the engine. The familiar hum of the engine was a soothing sound, momentarily alleviating my unease. I glanced at the rearview mirror, catching a glimpse of the desolate parking lot behind me. That's when I saw it, a figure standing in the shadows, watching me. My heart pounded in my chest, and adrenaline coursed through my veins. I reversed the car in haste, my eyes fixed on the figure in the mirror. As I drove away, I couldn't shake the feeling that those eyes, filled with an unnerving intensity, were still locked onto me. Days turned into sleepless nights as the note's haunting message consumed my thoughts. I became increasingly paranoid, constantly scanning my surroundings for any signs of the mysterious watcher. I questioned every passerby, every stranger who glanced in my direction. The feeling of being constantly observed gnawed at my sanity, like a relentless predator stalking its prey. Determined to unravel the truth, I embarked on a quest to discover the identity of my tormentor. I installed security cameras around my home, scrutinized every face in the crowd, and sought solace in the company of friends and family. Yet, no matter what precautions I took, the shadow of the watcher remained. The nights grew darker, and the fear grew stronger. The watcher seemed to be one step ahead, always eluding my grasp. I couldn't escape the overwhelming sense that I was being toyed with, as if my tormentor relished in my fear and desperation. One night, as I returned to my car after another restless evening, I noticed something different. The note was back. This time, it carried a chilling message: "You can't hide from me." My heart sank, and my breath caught in my throat. How was this possible? I had taken every precaution, yet the Watcher had once again infiltrated my life. The days turned into a haze of constant anxiety and paranoia. I grew tired, my mind and body yearning for respite from the incessant terror. Desperate for answers, I reached out to the authorities, but they could find no concrete evidence of the Watcher's existence. As time went on, the Watcher's presence became suffocating. Sleep became elusive, nightmares haunted my every moment of rest, and the once familiar world transformed into a prison of fear. I began to question my own sanity. Was the Watcher real, or was it a figment of my imagination? In the depths of my despair, I stumbled upon a realization, a newfound strength born from my desperation. Determined to reclaim my life, I made a decision. I would confront the Watcher, face to face, and put an end to this torment. Late one night, armed with courage and a deep-rooted determination, I returned to the parking lot where it all began. The air was heavy with anticipation, as if the universe held its breath, waiting for the final act to unfold. With trembling hands, I placed a note of my own on the windshield, challenging the Watcher to reveal themselves. Let's hop onto story number 2, but before I begin reading, make sure that you have subscribed to Mr. Scare for regular horror podcasts. I had just finished a long day of work and pulled into the dimly lit parking lot, grateful for the opportunity to finally rest. The flickering streetlights cast an eerie glow, and a sense of unease settled upon me as I stepped out of my car. Little did I know that unease would soon escalate into a heart-pounding terror. As I made my way towards the entrance, a chill ran down my spine. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. Glancing over my shoulder, I noticed a vehicle, its headlights piercing through the darkness, following my every move. A wave of unease washed over me, but I dismissed it as mere coincidence, a figment of an exhausted mind. Yet, as I continued my journey, the car remained in relentless pursuit, never wavering, never falling behind. My heart quickened its pace, thudding against my chest like a war drum. Panic threatened to consume me as I took a series of turns, hoping to shake off my pursuer. But no matter where I went, the car mirrored my every maneuver, its presence an oppressive weight on my soul. Cold beads of sweat formed on my forehead as my mind raced with questions. Who were they? What did they want from me? The possibilities unfurled like a sinister tapestry, each thread intertwining with fear and uncertainty. I had stumbled into a nightmare, trapped in a web of unknown motives and sinister intentions. With trembling hands, I reached for my phone, desperate to dial for help. But as I unlocked the screen, a sudden realization struck me like a bolt of lightning, no signal. The darkness deepened, my isolation amplified by the absence of communication. I was alone, adrift in a sea of malevolence. A desperate plan formed in my mind. I veered off the main road, hoping to lose them in the labyrinth of side streets and alleyways. My tires screeched against the asphalt, echoing the clamor of my racing thoughts. But despite my efforts, the relentless pursuit continued, a relentless predator on my heels. Finally, I spotted a flickering neon sign, a beacon of potential refuge. It was a gas station, a place of safety, or so I hoped. I swerved into the parking lot, tires screeching against the asphalt. But my relief was short-lived as I noticed the pursuing vehicle glide effortlessly into the lot, its presence an ominous specter. Entering the store, I hoped to lose sight of the pursuing vehicle. But as I turned down the aisles, panic set in when I saw the unmistakable glow of headlights through the store windows. They were still following me. My heart raced, and a surge of adrenaline coursed through my veins. Who were they? And why were they tailing me? Heart pounding, I flung open the car door and rushed towards the station. The bell above the entrance jingled with each desperate step, as if sounding an alarm for the impending danger. Inside, I pleaded for help, my words tumbling out in a frenzied frenzy. But the cashier's eyes betrayed a hint of trepidation, a shared realization that we were both trapped in the grip of an unseen terror. Determined to shake off my pursuer, I exited the store, my heart pounding in my chest. I made my way back to my car, glancing around for any signs of the unknown vehicle. But they were nowhere to be seen. I let out a breath of relief, convinced that I had eluded them. Little did I know, they were just biding their time. As I pulled out of the parking lot, a sinking feeling settled in the pit of my stomach. I noticed the same vehicle behind me, its headlights burning bright in my rearview mirror. Panic coursed through me as I realized this was no coincidence. I was being followed, and there was no escaping their relentless pursuit. My mind raced, searching for a way to shake them off. I took a series of unexpected turns, hoping to lose them in the maze of streets, but they stayed hot on my trail. Fear gripped me as the pursuit escalated, their vehicle drawing closer, its presence suffocating. Desperate for help, I reached for my phone, only to find it dead. A wave of helplessness washed over me as I realized my lifeline had been severed. My heart pounded in my chest, and sweat dripped down my forehead. I needed to find refuge, to seek safety from the unknown terror that hunted me relentlessly. In a final desperate attempt, I drove towards the nearest police station, hoping that the presence of authority would deter my pursuer. But as I neared the station, the pursuing vehicle closed in, its bumper almost touching mine. A wave of terror washed over me, as if the jaws of a predator were about to close in for the kill. Summoning all my courage, I veered into the police station parking lot, praying for salvation. The screech of tires filled the air as the unknown vehicle skidded to a halt. I sprinted towards the entrance, pounding on the doors for help. Relief washed over me as the doors swung open, revealing the concerned faces of officers ready to confront the threat. The pursuing vehicle was apprehended, its occupants taken into custody. As I recounted the harrowing experience to the police, I learned that the unknown pursuer had mistaken me for someone else, a case of mistaken identity that had escalated into a terrifying ordeal. In the aftermath of the ordeal, a mix of fear and relief flooded my veins. The horror of being relentlessly pursued had forever left its mark on my psyche. The shadows that once held no danger now seemed laden. I sat alone in my car, the quiet of the parking lot enveloping me. It was late, and the darkness outside seemed to press against the windows, creating an eerie atmosphere. I reached for my phone, hoping to distract myself from the solitude when an incoming call from an unknown number flashed on the screen. Intrigued yet cautious, I answered the call, little knowing that it would plunge me into a nightmare. "Hello?" I spoke, my voice betraying a hint of unease. A chilling silence greeted me on the other end, and a shiver ran down my spine. "Who is this?" I asked, my voice more forceful this time. A deep, ominous voice responded, sending a chill through my veins. "Oh, I know all about you, John," the caller said, his tone dripping with malevolence. My heart skipped a beat. How did this person know my name? Fear began to bubble within me, twisting my stomach into knots. "Who is this? What do you want?" I demanded, my voice trembling. The caller chuckled darkly. "Oh, John, I know things about you. Things that you thought were buried in the past. Secrets that you hoped would never see the light of day." A wave of panic washed over me as I realized the gravity of the situation. How could this stranger possess such intimate knowledge about my life? My mind raced, trying to piece together any clues that could lead to the identity of this caller. Had I unknowingly crossed paths with a vengeful enemy? "Listen, I don't know who you are, but you need to leave me alone," I pleaded, my voice laced with desperation. The caller's sinister laughter filled the air, echoing in the confines of my car. "Oh, I'm afraid it's too late for that, John. I have plans for you. Plans that involve exposing your darkest secrets to the world." My heart pounded in my chest as a cold sweat coated my brow. How could I escape this relentless tormentor who seemed to know my every move, my every secret? Was there no respite from this living nightmare? The caller continued, his voice dripping with malice. "You see, John, I've been watching you. I know where you live, where you work, and the people you hold dear. Your past will come back to haunt you, and there's nothing you can do to stop it." Dread settled over me like a suffocating fog. How could this person have access to such personal details? The implications sent shivers down my spine, my mind racing through the countless possibilities. Had my privacy been violated? Or was there something more sinister at play? With every passing word, the caller's threats grew more explicit, delving into the deepest recesses of my past. The weight of guilt and fear pressed upon me, threatening to crush my spirit. The anonymity of the unknown caller only intensified the terror, for I couldn't confront the faceless enemy who had invaded my life. Days turned into weeks, and I found myself trapped in a perpetual state of paranoia. Every phone call, every stranger's gaze, sent my nerves into overdrive. Sleep became a distant memory, replaced by restless nights haunted by the unknown caller's chilling words. I sought solace in the company of friends and family, desperate to cling to the semblance of normalcy. Yet, even in their presence, a lingering fear remained, casting a shadow over every interaction. The line between reality and the unknown blurred, leaving me in a constant state of vigilance. Eventually, I made the difficult decision to involve the authorities. They launched an investigation, tracing the unknown number and combing through any potential leads. But as days turned into weeks, hope began to wane. The caller seemed to evade capture, slipping through the cracks like a ghostly apparition. In the end, it was a stroke of luck that led to a breakthrough. The authorities discovered a pattern in the calls, linking them to a disgruntled former acquaintance seeking revenge for a long-forgotten transgression. With the perpetrator identified, they swiftly took action, apprehending the individual responsible for the torment that had plagued my life. Relief flooded over me, but the scars of that harrowing experience remained. The memories of those chilling phone calls would forever haunt me, a reminder of the fragility of our sense of security. The world had proven to be a much darker place than I had ever imagined. As time passed, the wounds slowly healed, and life returned to a semblance of normalcy. Yet, deep within, I knew that the scars left by that eerie encounter would forever serve as a cautionary tale, a chilling reminder that evil could lurk. It was a chilly autumn night when our group of friends decided to meet up in a secluded parking lot. The idea of a late-night gathering had an allure, a sense of adventure that enticed us all. Little did we know that this innocent plan would plunge us into a terrifying ordeal. As we arrived one by one, excitement filled the air. The familiar faces, the laughter, and the anticipation of a memorable night together brought warmth to the cold surroundings. But as the minutes ticked by, a growing unease settled upon us. One of our friends, Sarah, was nowhere to be seen. We exchanged worried glances, hoping for a logical explanation. Perhaps she had encountered car trouble or got caught in traffic. But as time stretched on, anxiety gnawed at our hearts. Something was amiss, and the eerie silence of the parking lot only heightened our apprehension. Curiosity mixed with trepidation as we approached our parked cars. That's when we noticed it, a sense of foreboding descending upon us. Each car held a chilling clue, a haunting message that suggested something sinister had occurred. In my car, I found a blood-stained cloth, its crimson hue contrasting starkly against the upholstery. Panic surged through my veins as I imagined the possible scenarios that could have led to such a disturbing discovery. The realization struck me, our friend was in danger, and time was of the essence. Fear tightened its grip as we shared our findings, each clue painting a macabre picture of events unfolding. Sarah's car held an abandoned cell phone, its screen cracked and splattered with dried blood. Another friend discovered a torn piece of clothing, torn and discarded as if in a struggle. The pieces of the puzzle fell into place, and the implications sent shivers down our spines. Summoning our courage, we decided to investigate further, desperate to uncover the truth and rescue our missing friend. The parking lot, once a place of refuge, now felt like a sinister maze. Shadows danced in the corners of our vision, playing tricks on our weary minds. As we followed the trail of clues, the atmosphere grew increasingly oppressive. The silence was punctuated by the distant rustle of leaves, the wind carrying an otherworldly whisper. It felt as if an unseen presence watched our every move, reveling in our terror. Suddenly, a faint cry echoed through the night, slicing through the eerie stillness. It was Sarah's voice, strained and desperate. Adrenaline surged through our veins as we traced the sound to an abandoned warehouse on the edge of the parking lot. With trepidation, we cautiously entered the decrepit building, its walls crumbling with decay. the air hung heavy with a mix of anticipation and dread. Each step echoed in the cavernous space, heightening our awareness of the unknown danger that lurked within. A flickering light guided us further, revealing a scene that would forever be etched in our minds. Sarah, bound and gagged, her eyes filled with terror, conveyed the horrors she had endured. The room was adorned with symbols and macabre decorations, an eerie manifestation of malevolence. In an act of sheer desperation, we untied Sarah, vowing to protect her at all costs. The realization that we were not alone hit us like a tidal wave. The captor, still concealed in the shadows, lurked, watching our every move. A desperate struggle ensued, our group fighting back against an unseen adversary. The adrenaline-fueled battle for survival echoed through the dilapidated warehouse, our screams blending with the cries of agony. Through sheer determination and unwavering resolve, we managed to overpower our attacker. Bound in our makeshift restraints, the figure revealed their identity. I parked my car in an empty parking lot, the fading sunlight casting long shadows across the asphalt. It was an ordinary evening, or so I thought. But as I stepped out of the car, my eyes caught sight of something peculiar, a child's toy, abandoned on the ground. Curiosity piqued, I approached the innocent-looking object. It was a weathered teddy bear, its fur worn and threadbare, a silent witness to countless adventures. But there was something unsettling about it, a strange aura that hung in the air. Instinctively, I knew this toy held a deeper, darker story. I picked up the teddy bear, the worn fabric rough against my skin. As I examined it, a chill ran down my spine. Its button eyes seemed to hold secrets, its stitched smile concealing untold horrors. Something was not right, and an overwhelming sense of dread washed over me. Determined to unravel the mystery, I ventured further into the parking lot. Shadows danced in the corners of my vision, amplifying the unease that had settled in my heart. With each step, the weight of the toy seemed to grow, as if its secrets were too heavy to bear. As I delved deeper, whispers of unsettling events reached my ears. Locals spoke of strange occurrences in the area, unexplained phenomena that defied rationality. Disappearances, sightings of spectral figures, and an underlying sense of fear plagued the community. And now, it seemed, I had stumbled upon the epicenter of this sinister web. The toy became my guide, leading me to places tainted by darkness. Abandoned buildings stood as eerie sentinels, their broken windows staring into the depths of my soul. The teddy bear's presence grew heavier with each passing moment, its haunting energy feeding on my fear. In my pursuit of answers, I encountered others who had been drawn into the clutches of this malevolent force. Their stories echoed my own, tales of inexplicable phenomena that had changed their lives forever. We formed an unlikely alliance, united by our shared determination to uncover the truth. Together, we embarked on a perilous journey, tracing the toy's origins and the haunting it carried. Our search led us to a forgotten cemetery, where the souls of the departed whispered their secrets. We unraveled a dark tale of loss, grief, and the restless spirits that clung to this realm. As we delved deeper into the unknown, the presence surrounding us intensified. We found ourselves plagued by vivid nightmares, visions of a past that refused to remain buried. The lines between reality and the supernatural blurred, and each step forward felt like a step into the abyss. But we pressed on, knowing that the answers we sought lay just beyond our grasp. In a final, climactic confrontation, we faced the malevolence that had held us captive. The teddy bear, once an innocent toy, transformed into a conduit for darkness, a vessel for ancient forces that sought to consume us. With courage and determination, we fought back, our collective willpower battling against the encroaching darkness. And in a burst of light and energy, the sinister grip was broken. The teddy bear crumbled into dust, its malevolent energy dissipated into the ether. As we emerged from the ordeal, we carried scars both visible and invisible.